everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Theodora and today is a realism draw with me session. While I'm drawing, you will also see my process of turning a sketch into the final piece. But the first thing we've got to do is add a grid to the original reference picture. So let me show you how to do that. I'm using IbisPaintX, but I'm sure you can do that on other platforms as well. First, we've got to download the image to our device. I'm using Pinterest for that. You can also take a screenshot. Make a new canvas by importing a picture, that's what I usually do, and make a new layer. Click on the filter icon. Next you're going to click on frame, which is down here, and table size. Just play around with the columns and the amount of squares you want. In my case I added 138 pixels of width and height. Basically because in order to make squares you have to have the same number of pixels on the width and height section. Lastly, click the arrow and then save as PNG if you want to download the image to your device, and then click back to my gallery. And that's it! Okay, so now as you can see, I've replicated the grid on my sketchbook's page. After that, I'm making the sketch. And to do that, I'm carefully looking at each square on my reference picture, and I'm trying to replicate what I see. This is a very important step in my opinion, and it also takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. It's also the part where I'm going over areas, erasing many times, until I'm satisfied with the end result. Now that I'm done with my sketch, I'm going to choose a color palette that matches my reference. In case you guys are using the same reference as me and you're wondering which colors I'm using ohuhu markers, and this is the color palette I chose. So this is the step where I use alcohol markers to add a base of colors. This is also something I discovered last year and I'm so happy because it saves a lot of time. So I do recommend adding a base layer with an art supply like markers because it really is going to save a lot of your time. Also, before I add a base layer of markers, I also erase my drawing, which you just saw me do. Next up is my absolute favorite part of the drawing, and that is adding the details. I'm using the Faber-Castell Polychromo set with the 24 colored pencils in it. And I'm basically trying to replicate all the shadows, textures, and highlights that I see in my reference. This is the most time-consuming part of making my realistic drawings because I take my time and work slowly. And whenever I'm using my colored pencils, I like to really have them sharpened because this way I can do the smaller details. Finally, I have to add the highlights. I'm using a white gel pen for that. And this is my realistic art process. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye!